Happy pubbing.
Salut.
Butty Bach. Lovely. A
Yeah,
little bit of home here in Kent.
yeah. Raining?
Yes,
Yeah, it's so rainy here.
it is.
I don't know if
Yeah,
you can see on my top, it's full of rain.
just rain, mate. And just, is there a storm or something?
I think
It's
so.
so
I think
windy. Too windy.
the cat wants to go out.
Oh,
Can you hear him?
always little visitors.
Hang on.
This shed's going to take off, mate. It's fucking mental.
Yeah, you're a bit by the sea, aren't you? So,
Not far. About 45 minutes.
oh really? I thought it was closer.
Nah. No, about 45. Do you know what? The other day, so we had that lovely, lovely weather.
Yeah.
Like last week. Got up to go to work the other morning. I was like, oh, it's a bit nippy.
Yeah,
Got to the
it was
car.
horrible, wasn't it?
I
It
had
was
to
like,
I had to scrape the car.
yeah. Are you not riding the horse?
No, mate. Too heavy for that now. And it's raining and cold.
Yeah.
I do like Butty, mate.
But he's lovely, mate. Really
Absolute
good.
headache juice though.
Yeah, I had some butter. So one of the owners is writing a cookbook at the moment, and he had a bit of a barbecue at his house on Monday.
I saw the barbecue. Looked nice.
I I had a few butties there because it looked like this barbecue is brought to you by White Valley Brewery.
It did look like that. Yes, it did.
Yeah. So I had a few butties, and when I
1985
woke
lager.
up, when I woke up, I was like, hmm,
This headache is brought to you by Y Valley Brewery.
yeah. But it wasn't like a headache, but it was just a bit like, oh, I feel a bit sluggish this morning.
Mm.
But
Yeah,
yeah, Butty's great. Butty's a decent hand pulled ale.
yeah, I've got it in. It also comes in bottled beer.
Yeah. Is that
That
one
was
of the
the wrong.
prizes?
That's the wrong way around. Bottled beer.
Is that one of your prizes? And you've stolen it?
No, I haven't sold this one. No,
No,
I don't do that. They all go to auction.
I didn't say you did do that, but I does Butty back stretch as far as Tesco's at
No, it comes to Asda.
Kent.com?
Asda.
Asda.
Yeah,
Nice.
but you can also order it on their website. But I'm not doing that.
It might be cheap. Is it not cheaper?
Well, it's only £1.90 for a bottle. It's not too expensive.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Just under a pint. So
Wanted to. Oh, you got some creepy crawlies.
no. I thought I just saw a leak, but it's not. I think there's just a gap in the door.
So I had a question,
Go for it.
and you're a Man United fan, and you can probably help me out with this because we always start with football.
Yes.
Well, no, we don't. We start with what we're drinking.
We're
we discuss.
in the pub.
We discuss that, and then we usually get onto football.
Yeah.
Where's Mason Mount?
Mason Mount. He was injured, wasn't he?
Is he a Man United player?
Yeah.
Because
He
for the
played.
Christ of me, I was literally like, I'm sure he signed for Man. Like,
Yeah, he played.
genuinely, I've heard nothing of him.
He hasn't really hit the ground running, you could say. Then he started a couple of games, had a bit of a mare. Then he got injured. He came back for the Carabao Cup.
Yeah.
He played really well in that, to be fair. And then
Who playing Dorchester?
No, who did we play?
I don't know. Look, what I mean is he was supposed to be part of this new revolution with Foden, Saka, Mason Mount, Madison,
Yeah,
and look, I haven't heard of him. I didn't even genuinely. I wouldn't have even
he's
thought of him.
generally had a few injuries, but also,
But I haven't heard anything.
where would you put
Usually,
him
when
in our England side?
I don't know, he
He
used
wouldn't
to
make
get in over players that he probably shouldn't get in over. But how much do you pay for him?
16 million, I think.
Yeah,
He's probably worth about 30 million, but you have to put the United tax on it.
United tax and England tax as well.
Yeah.
But you got to think he was a good player at Chelsea.
Yeah, it's
Like,
it's mad, isn't
like a
it?
bloody
It's
good
like
player.
it's literally like Manchester United now is just a graveyard for former good players. Because when we
There's,
bought
we
Maguire,
went over this the last pub, didn't we?
we
We
have.
went over. What has
When we bought
happened at
Maguire,
your
he wasn't a
club?
shit player. He wasn't a shit player when we bought Maguire. Now look at him.
And to be fair, he's not shit for England. Like he scored an unfortunate own goal,
Yeah,
which everybody mocked him for. But like
I think the last couple of games,
he's pretty much always produced for
yeah,
England, doesn't he?
the last couple of games I've noticed he's and he should do it for Man United if when he gets a game. He's doing the simple things like properly. Like he knows
Yeah.
he's not a great ball player, you could say. So he passes it to, for example, for England, he'll go, right, Stonesy, here you go, mate.
Yeah.
I'm just going to go and head the ball some more.
Yeah, but you need one of your centre backs to be like that, don't you?
Yeah.
You can't have two ball playing centre backs unless you're City and you don't really get anybody attacking you really.
Yeah, then you can.
But also City 3 in a row lost.
3.
Yep.
I thought it was 2.
Nope. There was a cup game they lost.
Oh,
and then they lost 2 league games in a row.
Wheels are falling off, mate.
I don't think they are.
I
think they're missing.
Is Haaland crap now?
What Haaland's crap at the moment?
Is that because he's all snuggle in Saliba's pocket?
Oh, he was.
Just slotted in there quite nicely.
That video you sent me, I'd seen it before. And
Saliba.
The funny thing is that quite often centre backs get penalised for that. Because in real time it looks like the centre back has actually obstructed them from going on to goal. Whereas you can quite clearly see in that video that Haaland runs directly at Saliba, thinking that he's going to either bounce off him or put himself in a slightly different position in order. Maybe Haaland's.
It's unfortunate for Haaland because one, he hasn't got Rodri and De Bruyne putting it on a plate for him.
Yeah,
and
that.
2, he clearly hasn't listened to Henry. So after they had a chat, didn't they, after the Champions League final, and they were all praising Haaland, oh, you're fucking superstar, blah blah blah.
Which
and then Haaland said to him, "Is there anything I need to improve on?" And then Henry was like, "Yeah, your movement. You always do the same run. And then I don't know if he said, and if you don't have De Bruyne, then your other players aren't going to find you. You have to sometimes drop in and sometimes spin round and then sometimes go into the corners and whatnot.
Yeah,
you got to listen to Thierry, mate. He knows.
Well, I think it's easy for me to say as an Arsenal fan, but Thierry Henry is one of the greatest people that has ever played as a striker. But he started as a left wing back.
Yeah,
and he learned his trade down as a left winger, and then he became, at the time, one of the best strikers in the world, if not the best striker in the world. There's something to be said for advice.
He redefined the role, didn't he?
He did, yeah, he did.
Because the striker was always the Van Nistelrooy type or the Shearer type. Strong, hold the ball up.
That he would have learnt from. But there were certain things that. But there was certain, yeah. But I mean, that's not really a role anymore, is it? I mean, some teams might have it, some teams might have a player that's a bit like that, but on the whole, the way that football goes now, that they tend to have a 9. They don't even have a number 10, which I think we discussed in the last pub, which was like Maddison. That's
Maddison.
why Maddison didn't get. It might have been the failed pub, but
Maybe.
Maddison. They reckon that Maddison didn't get picked up by a lot of the top clubs, and that's why he went to Spurs, who are performing really.
Like that.
No, but they are.
Who aren't a top club? They're shit.
No, but they're a club in rebuild, aren't they? And they're performing really well because they're allowing Maddison to play in that traditional 10 role, which is the one
they do
that
have a manager with the best name.
Probably.
Hosta Cogalulu.
But do you know what I mean? Like a lot of the teams don't play with that actual 10 anymore.
Yeah.
Like when De Bruyne plays, he doesn't play as an actual, because that's where like they call it a cam because of FIFA, but
they love a cam and a CDM.
Yeah,
that's what Sophia says she plays. What position do you play? CDM.
Yeah, that's a FIFA term.
You play in midfield.
But you know what I mean. Like there would usually be 2 strikers, a central midfield player, and an attacking midfield player. Whereas now it doesn't necessarily.
Yeah,
that's
we were talking about this at work the other day. You don't have the tall short combination anymore.
No.
The Crouch and Owen.
No, they usually play with one up top.
One up.
And well, do you know what? It actually goes back to probably when Dad played, because they always used to have wingers. And wingers went out of fashion when you and I were playing more regularly. And that became a right-sided or left-sided midfielder. So that's where the 4 came into it, because I think they always used to play like a 4-3-3. Then that got the advancement to that was the 4-4-2 was better suited defensively against a 4-3-3. Now they're reinventing the wheel, and they've put in basically a 4-3-3 again.
I brought this up about reinventing, because everyone goes on about Pep, how he's reinvented football. He hasn't. He's taken the knowledge that he got from Johan Cruyff.
Yeah,
total football.
Well, when you, there is a bit of that, but it's also like it probably goes in generations.
Yeah, I agree.
Like the way to beat the teams that were dominating, the Chelseas, etc., when Pep came in, was to find a way to beat those teams. And that might sound really simple, but what I mean is, like, you look back in history, it's the same. I always said the same with the gym. Like, people always said like CrossFit is the new thing. The next thing is the new thing. It's like, it's not new. You aren't creating anything. Pep hasn't created a single thing. What he's looked back through is, historically, what's the best formation to beat a 4-4-2? How can I improve that? Because it obviously didn't work at the time. So how can I improve that? So we play a 4-3-3, and we introduce players across the board throughout the entire team, right back to the goalkeeper, who can actually play football. We don't need an enforcer, but we don't need an enforcer. But like Johan Cruyff's total football was different to what Pep's is. His total football was probably like 2-touch football.
Yeah, it was. If you look back at it, it was a lot of 2-touch football and a lot of swapping of positions during the game.
Mm-hmm.
You sort of see it now with the left back or right back going into midfield.
Yeah, but that's deliberate. They do that deliberately. That's maybe not what Johan did. What Johan did was create players that could, if he screamed across the pitch, right? For example, like if you're looking at, like, I can only go by Arsenal because it's the only team I watch. So Martinelli is getting marked out of the game. He's getting completely marked out of the game. Switch him over with Saka, and maybe the guy that's been put there to deal with Saka can't deal with it. That's probably more what Johan was aiming towards. What Pep did was like, well, if I can get a left back, like how often does the left back come into play? Not very often. How often does the right back come into play?
If I can get the fullbacks,
not very often. If you're playing them as fullbacks, but as we move forward, if the left back then sits in front of what we can now make a back three, then we've created a completely different system. We're now allowing another midfielder who potentially is a better ball player a bit of freedom around that midfield. That's what they've done, and like maybe Pep was doing it, and maybe Arteta's nicked it, and Arteta seems to use it more. Yeah, like it's what's quite cool when you look at it, and what's annoying then when you watch someone like England.
Yeah.
And by the way, I have not watched any of England, not out of protest. I was at work, and then I just didn't.
I watched it just because I didn't want to watch things like Made in Chelsea. So
yeah, and that's fair enough.
I went, can we put the football on?
To be fair, international football for all international, like when you watch international football, it don't work the same.
No,
they're still very traditional. You either play.
It's mad.
A back five, or a back four, or a back three, and that's it. So those players that spend week in, week out giving us absolute amazing entertainment don't get to play in their traditional roles.
Yeah.
Like when I say traditional roles, I mean the role that they play in, week out. They don't get to do that. Like, for example, if Zinchenko was English, he would have to play as a left back.
Wouldn't get in.
That's it.
But it's mad though when you think of that comparison. So the football comparison, the league teams when they get called up for England don't seem to. Well, they have been gelling and stuff, but as you said, it's not the same sort of formation. It's not the same roles. Blah blah blah. Turn on its head and you go to rugby. It's as though the level gets increased even more. But do they spend a bit longer together? Rugby internationals when they're breaking up for international duty?
Rugby's a weird one because it's like a professional sport, but it's like almost like a semi-professional sport as well. So
I know they sort of even the playing field slightly. So now the Rugby World Cup's going, but so's the Premier League.
So's the league, and it's like that because the pool of players is not big enough to like Leicester, for example, can't afford to not keep playing, but it's also like
they also don't lose as many players from one team. I've noticed either.
No, they don't. It's
very much spread,
and that's probably not by design. That's just by like luck of the draw. Like you haven't got like the Leicester Tigers are not the Manchester United of the 90s.
Yeah,
where they lose like 4 to 6 players. That would be catastrophic to a rugby team because you can't fill that.
Yeah, because that used to happen back in the day. So I remember. So teams like Leicester Tigers, Wasps, Northampton Saints, I think it's Newcastle, would give majority of their players would go to England, and then you have a team like Bath that would then just run away with it during the Six Nations break. They would just go on an absolute tear because they've got all their first team players still.
Yeah.
Bath. Posh cities have rugby teams.
Nah, and it's not necessarily like Leicester's not a posh city.
Yeah, but Bath
Coventry's not a.
Well, it wasn't really Coventry though, was it? It was supposed to be London Wasps, but they didn't have a stadium, so they went to Coventry.
Well, it's not even Wasps have folded now.
They've gone now, yeah. I did read that Worcester have gone.
Worcester went a couple of years ago.
Yeah, but the women's team now have gone.
I didn't even know they kept the women's team. I thought it all went.
Yeah, they kept the women's team. I only know this because of Laura Keats.
Oh right.
Yeah, gone.
Is Laura still playing?
Yeah, I think she's like a dentist. Slashed World Cup winner. Mental. I think she's a dentist. I could have bro science that. Did you watch the quarterfinals?
I want you to fact check.
You want me to fact check
before you? I want you to fact check before you make those statements.
No, I'm pretty sure she's a dentist.
Yeah, but we're huge on YouTube now. Sean. Now we do the virtual pub. We're huge.
The virtual pub is huge.
Did I watch the quarterfinals? Yes, I did.
All of them.
I watched. No, I watched Ireland and I watched Wales. And I was working when England played.
Yes.
And
Laura Keats, Worcester rugby player / dentist. Knew it.
Was that her Instagram or was that?
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
That was quick. Wikipedia just makes it up, doesn't it? But yeah, I watched. I managed to get to watch them all.
That must have been nice.
Only the last.
Did you watch Strictly Come Dancing?
No, because I was watching Jess Strictly Come Dance.
Right, yeah. Yeah, we were texting. That's right.
And yeah, I managed to get the last 20 minutes of the Ireland game. I don't know why, but we mentioned this last time. I wasn't as gutted for Ireland to be knocked out than I was for Wales to be knocked out.
I was.
I must be a bit like Dad. I don't seem to have the.
I do.
The Irish connection.
Genuinely panpipe. I'm like that. Let's fucking go. Or we hear the Welsh national anthem.
I got that out. Flopped it out.
Get the thing I got.
Yeah. Kate was going, "What are you doing?" I went, "Singing the national anthem." But you don't know the words. I'm reading them. Bosh. Butty bosh.
I don't know if I did it on the pod last time or if I just sent you text or if I'd rang you. But I think I cleared up that Mum and Mike know it phonetically.
Yes.
They
don't know what they're saying.
No, they've got no. They know how to say it, but they don't know what they're saying, which is mental to me.
Genuinely, you would think that they would know their own language.
Yeah, but they didn't do it. It's brought back now. In Wales,
that's what I mean.
It's a mandatory language in Wales now. I nearly said Lales. I mean, what?
Yeah, Lales. Land. I was doing just before Wales versus the West Falklands kicked off. I gotta call it that. I like to say it because I don't like them. Argentina, don't like it. West Falklands. It's a bit of a joke. Sort of a military in joke. You won't get it.
I won't get it because I'm not military.
Others will laugh. They'll be like, "Got that one, mate. You're a hoot."
Chris Dunn. Chris Dunn will.
Chris Dunn will get it. He'll like that. He'll really
Dan
like
Shipper.
That. Yeah. Anyway,
what's the listenership like on the virtual pub?
The what like?
The listenership. Like how many people?
I don't know, probably about 5. I don't look at those stats.
Oh. What was the app? Because I mean I've obviously
Anchor.
Not doing Anchor, yeah. Anchor gives you a breakdown.
I know, but I just upload and go.
yeah, the thing about Anchor is it gives you all the stats, but also it gave me some feedback, and it would be via email, and it would say if you just do things regularly.
Yeah. Well, we're doing it
So
regularly now, aren't we?
yeah, no. What I mean is, like, I'd be interested to see,
I
because
definitely need to.
I'm not famous, and it's not like we do massive promos for it, but
I don't think
because
I've
it's a
ever done a
regular
promo.
occurrence,
Occurrence.
because it's a regular occurrence, some people just like to hear people talk.
Yeah.
Because I do it, but like Bill Burr's podcast, I love Bill Burr's podcast, but a lot of the time I'll put it on, like if I'm having a little nappy poo, I put it because I'm used to hearing Bill's voice.
Oh,
So I
Bill.
put it on and I'll start listening, and I might fall asleep for like 20, 30 minutes. Miss most of the podcast, but I'll listen to the entire podcast because it's on.
Yeah.
And apparently that is like a thing that people do.
You
So
also listen to like radio traffic, as we discovered.
yeah, but air traffic. Also, so many helicopters and fucking hell speech. Helicopters in Hereford again today. Not just the Dolphiners, there was Pumas, like all sorts.
They're all getting ready, mate.
Well, of course they are.
Well, I'm trying to
I
figure
get
out.
anxious about this. I lie awake at night.
So I don't know what
Because,
this means. It's a new thing, but Spotify impressions over the last 30 days, I've had 2,477.
right, so what that means is that Spotify would be like, oh, you're listening to this, you might like this.
Oh.
And those people have clicked and at least had a little listen.
Had a little listen. I've got 90 Spotify followers. I'm well happy with that.
No, he's good. Fucking hell, is that a rain?
It's proper windy by ear.
Jesus Christ, it is.
In total, though, 10,571 plays. Which isn't too bad.
What, of all time from since you started
Since
putting it on Spotify?
2019. I'm happy with that. I'm a bloke in a shed.
Yeah. I can't believe this rain, mate.
I can't believe it's not doing what I'm asking it to do. Is it episodes? Or I'll go episodes.
So Mason Mount, he's shit now, yeah.
Yeah,
But he's not shit. So why is he shit?
that's a good. It's a good question. So the last one we've had.
I knew it when I
25
said
plays.
25. That's
Yeah.
all right.
275 impressions though. Consumption hours 4th. I don't know what that means. Oh no, 4 hours. 4th. 4th. Whatever.
Consumption hours, that means the total listening time.
What was the other virtual pub? Yeah, the virtual pub had 26.
Oh, that's per episode though.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm happy with that. I can't believe I've got 27 people listening to me and you chat. I love it. Well, thank you very much. You can have a t-shirt. I don't
You got
have
any
it.
left?
I ain't got any.
I've got 3.
I had 2. I now have 1. So perhaps one of those is mine.
Fucking hell, mate. It ain't because they're all mediums.
Oh, it definitely ain't me then.
No.
Definitely ain't me. I've been fishing around some veteran companies to make us a new sort of warm-up shirt for this next game.
Who did the last one?
Rock to Recovery made the last ones. They were nice. They've done the last 2. But I feel, though, as though we're taking money out of it. If we get 30 t-shirts, like 25 t-shirts. Well, no, it'd have been 30 because we had the kids, didn't we, as well?
Yeah.
Oh, me. But yeah.
So did you paid for them?
No, they paid for them. Yeah, Rock to Recovery got them made. Do you know what I mean, Harry?
Yeah. Sorry, I had a text message off Mason earlier.
The dragon.
Yeah. Do you want me to read you the text feed?
Yeah.
It's quite funny. Because
you text him.
The lad seems to want to come into the restaurant every time I'm not working.
Oh.
And by the way, just for copyright, etc., this is genuinely a text message feed that I had from Mason, and no views of Mason are expressed in this conversation. It's just two mates talking.
Yeah.
So you working, might pop in to say hello, throw some shade at the chefs. So I'm not in tonight, mate. I've been doing some admin shit all day. He was like, bastard. I was hoping to say hello. I was like, what time are you thinking? There's a pretty big party of sass guys in tonight.
Oh.
He was like, been non-stop. We've got a reservation, 7:45. I said, oh, nice. Let me have a look, see if there's anybody that's working that you know. And he went, that'll be one more train killer in there now by 7:45. And he also said, don't look at who's working. I only know you. I said, okay, mate. You have to let me know when you're coming down next, and I can always pop by the restaurant if you're coming in, or you can always swing by my place on your way home or whatever. And he was like, definitely, mate, blah, 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 blah. His parents were out. He wants to go for a burger. What should I go for? Gluten-free, because he's a celiac. Did you know that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's only bread that can defeat him.
And I was like, well, it's Wednesday. It's steak night. So there's Cowboy on tonight. He went, that's the one, defo. Ha, ha, ha.
That's my...
Dirty Boy also, I think. I went, Dirty Boy's not necessarily gluten-free, because I think there's gluten in the sauce. I said there's the Jurassic, and you probably on one of those you want to go with an Oklahoma style, animal style. So that's the one with the onions smashed into it with extra mustard put on it. That's the one that's got all the traction at the moment because it was the one that was on the TV. Then he gave me his fight dates, which I won't say because he's waiting until tomorrow to hear off those.
November, by any chance?
He then said, it would be December. I'm going to have 2 burgers.
You can tell he's not in camp. I'm going to have 2 burgers.
And I also said to him, that's good news, mate. That's quick turnaround on fights. And I put, but you'll be absolutely stuffed if you have 2 burgers, especially if you have the Cowboy.
Oh, yeah.
It's got steak in it as well.
Yeah, I've had the Cowboy.
Yeah! I got a diet again tomorrow. And then I put, and I think you'll appreciate this. Have you watched the fight? Or have you only watched the clips I sent you?
No, I see it.
I said, who the fuck?
Oh. Hold.
In the crowd, honestly.
Hold.
Wait for it. I'm going to bring the mic.
No, just hold.
No, you saw him. Hang on, your connection gone on mine.
I think it might be mine. There we go. Your connection's gone bad. I think mine has at the same time.
You've gone Robocop.
So have you.
You okay?
I'm okay. Are you okay?
I'm okay.
Are we okay?
Right. Yep.
Do you want a hug?
So it's like, who are you looking for on Saturday in a crowd? And he then just sent some disabled kid.
Yes.
And I went, I haven't responded at this point. He went, then Cage Warriors brought in the wrong one. Wait. I then said to him, oh, I thought someone was getting a hide-in. And he put, that's what Graham thought, Graham being the promoter.
Yeah.
And I put, brilliant. He went, it was great. A mint night, though. And I put, Also, when you said the wrong one, I thought you meant the wrong kind of disabled.
That's what I thought.
And he put 3 laughing emojis and went, just the wrong kid, but all good. It was funny as fuck. I said, have you watched it back? It definitely looks like you're going into the crowd to fill somebody in. And he put, haha, I just always look angry.
He's the nicest guy in the world.
Yeah.
But I have to say this, Mace, right? Of all the things to give to someone, why would you give him a gum shield?
Was that what he was doing?
You get no so backstage, I think I shared it. He met him backstage and was like, I saw you last time and this is the gum shield from the last fight.
Is that the special kid?
Yeah, yeah. Are you supposed to say special?
We'll
go with disabled.
Disabled, isn't it?
We'll go with disabled. That's you're gonna get me cancelled of my 26.
No, I wasn't even trying then. I was trying to be politically correct. I didn't want to say disabled.
What sort are you? Head mental or leg mental? Oh, I went too far. What?
Yeah. You do this to yourself. I set you up, and then you fucking do it.
I just twatted it out of the field. No, but he gave him a gum shield, which I thought was a bit bizarre.
Or really productive, so he doesn't lose his teeth. We don't know what kind of disabled.
We don't know.
But also, surely that gum shield fits Mathan's
Mathan's mouth.
I went full fucking Mike Tyson then. Mathan Jones.
Oh, I need to. My last butty is just sat.
Yeah.
Need to.
Yeah, so that was quite a funny caveat from Mason earlier. Like he does it all the time.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Are you working tonight?" I was like, "Fuck it." Text me yesterday, and I can arrange that I will be either at the restaurant or I'll say just pop round. You can have a cup of tea on the way home or whatever. And he always does it. He's like, "Yeah, I'm coming in this week with my sister because my the rest of my family are taking Black Sheep out or whatever."
Black Sheep.
It's like, all right. I didn't actually mention that I was podcasting with you because I could have actually probably got him in here, couldn't I?
You could have done.
I could have done, but there's always that chance, like, because you were a bit like I'm just waiting for my dinner and stuff. So if he's on a tight schedule and his sister's got to sit about somewhere, but if he was to arrange it, like we could always do that. Like he literally, like he doesn't live far.
Nah, he's a good, he's fucking good lad. Fucking chatterbox is what he is.
Yeah, he's a chatterbox, but it's also nice to hear from him because I haven't heard of him for months because he's been just in camp constantly.
He did a bit of commentary a couple of weeks ago because I was down the pub and a couple of Kate's cousins were like, you know a couple of fighters, don't you? I was like, yeah. They went, are you like really friendly with any? I was like, yeah, Mason, I'm quite friendly with. No, you're not. I went, well, I can text him if you want. And then he sent me a picture back with him with a fucking microphone.
Yeah.
Commentary
on what was that? Because
I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't like to name organisations that he said that he's waiting to hear off tomorrow, but
no, I'm not sure he was. No, he literally just said, I'm commentating. That was it. And then yeah, and then they went, oh, can we send a selfie back? So we took like a selfie with me and Kate's cousins. And he put, have to bring them next time when you come up for a coffee. And that was it then. That's all they spoke about.
Oh, you did meet him for a coffee, didn't you, when you were going back home that one time?
Yeah. Well, he bought me a coffee, mate. That's when I got the exclusive that he was going to the UFC.
Yeah.
But I wasn't allowed to talk about it, which was annoying.
Yeah, it's nice to know, though. It's nice to be
Yeah. The
Like,
reason why I asked asked if it was November is because there's a London card, isn't there? Cage Warriors.
no, I think from what I can gather, and this is by no means like fact checked by anybody, but like literally from the text message I've had and the fact that Mason fought on Cage Warriors again, I think that was just to keep himself active. Like I think he can always go back to Cage Warriors, but there are divisions above, and I think we all know that Mace has had that discussion with either Dana or Dana's representatives that
when he's ready to come back.
No, he wants to fight more regularly. I think,
Yeah.
and I'm not speaking for Mason. From what I can gather from the conversations I've had, he just wants to fight regularly, and he can't be waiting 6. Well, I mean, it might change now because like USADA's gone. You've seen that?
Yeah.
You've seen that?
I have seen that. That is
fucked off.
That's crazy considering Johnny Bones is fighting heavyweight soon, isn't he?
Well, there's that, and they also the other fucking money pony can't fight if he's not USADA tested. So it's like, yeah, we'll fuck them off then, because we need to make money.
Oh, McGregor, yeah. And then you got just around the corner. It's not far away, is it? 300. Brock Lesnar. The first man to fight on 100, 200, and 300.
Now you wouldn't want Brock Lesnar coming back, would you?
So big.
No, but you wouldn't, because like how like.
But and also
Brock's got to be close to 50.
Even since 200, it's evolved as a sport.
Yeah, but this is the thing though. The UFC has gone stale as fuck.
They've lost their cash cows, mate.
Yeah, they have. But you can't bring back someone like Brock Lesnar to fight John Jones.
No.
Because, well, could you? Like, people just watched fucking Tyson Fury's like half a sperm brother fight somebody, and
I watched it, right?
Right, the whole Dylan Dallin.
All I'm going to say is, I can't confirm or deny if I paid for it, but I watched it, right? And I have seen, like, don't get me wrong, it's really windy. Don't get me wrong,
it's really rainy here.
They've promoted.
I said to you about. Can you hear me if I've got like a little bit of a? All I can hear in my headphones is rain. It sounds like you're in some sort of like Take That video.
Brilliant.
All I knew it's on his brain.
Oh, tune, mate. Oh.
But anyway, boxing.
Yeah. I'm not going to take anything away from the way they promoted it, even though they were fucking annoying. It got people wanting to watch it. And
I can't.
You know, I watched it and I've seen better fights outside of play. And better ultra white collar boxing matches. I've seen better versions of that.
Yeah. And do you know what's mad?
Dylan Dennis threw 9 punches in a 6-round fight.
I think I've seen all 9 of those as well. And I'm not one hit like Dylan Dennis is a far superior martial artist than I would be if I trained for the next 10 years of my life. Like, what's the point? I don't get the point. That's what I don't understand. I don't get the point.
It's like
what's the whole thing with Dylan? What's the thing?
It's because he's a shit house, isn't he? He's a shit house, basically, and people want to fight him. But then again, so's Logan Paul. He's a shithouse. He fucking filmed people hanging from a tree. People seem to have forgotten about that. People seem to have forgotten about that. That's what Chris D'Elia called him out on, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Ripped him to pieces.
I don't get what the attraction of seeing these people fight is.
I genuinely don't know. I watched it because obviously it was talking about, and I thought it could make for some good discussion.
I'd have thought though, I'd have thought like Dylan Dennis is a big jiu-jitsu guy, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he does fight MMA.
Yeah.
So I'd have thought like he's not an old guy. He's fairly so, and spare my ignorance for a second. Is Dylan Dennis any good at MMA? Because I know he knows Conor McGregor.
He's not great. No, he's a you could say he's a typical jiu-jitsu guy.
Right. So
he'll throw a couple of like you could say feint shots so that he can land a takedown.
So is that why Gordon Ryan was there?
Yeah. Gordon Ryan was there to. I don't even know why, mate.
But also in this silly influencer world, because I don't know.
But also, Dylan Dennis.
I'm ignorant.
Went straight at him and went, "Oh look, it's Logan Paul and his supplier," and started calling him out for steroids.
Well, I mean, and to be fair to Dylan Dennis, who clearly doesn't do any PEDs, does he?
Apparently not.
But to be fair, Gordon Ryan and Jake Paul didn't look all natty.
They looked a little juicy to me.
They look juicy. And fair play if you are that size and aren't juicy. Fair play. Not calling either of them out for it, but it's not a bad shout to say something like that. But also, looking at Gordon Ryan, he's not going to be facing Dylan Dennis anytime soon unless Dylan Dennis gets some implants in his legs and the rest of his body to make him bigger, and then gets on steroids to make the rest of his muscles fit his new body.
Yeah.
So what's the point? I just don't see the point.
I don't get it, mate, either. And the same with these,
because it's
all of these influencer boxers, right?
But Sean, it's not even a jiu-jitsu rivalry from those guys.
No, it's not.
Because Gordon is so much bigger than unless they fight in an absolute tournament.
Yeah.
Which is
it's all bollocks, mate. You've got fucking Fury, who's supposed to be a fucking boxer, fighting KSI, whose career is falling as fast as his hairline. That's a good one.
That was mean.
That was a bit mean. He is losing his hair. Just shave it off.
I mean, I tell you what, you should try and get a. Is it Hymns? They're on all the podcasts at the moment. Hymns.
Yeah, I don't know how to do that.
No, I just mean then you wouldn't call a fellow man bold.
Just
be like, get some hymns.
No, I'm not calling him bold.
Use the code name Granite Zero.
Be bold,
or don't be bold,
or don't.
Yeah.
Be bold. Be bold. You can be bold, or you can have hair. Just that bit in the middle. Just stop clinging on to
Alan Shearer kept the island for a while, didn't he?
Yeah, and Sir Bobby did for forever.
I mean, Sir Bobby didn't really.
He just. Yeah. What was that?
You could get away with that back then.
Robert, hey. You're not fooling anyone with that one.
Yeah. Going back to the whole combat sport thing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't see how it benefits Gordon Ryan being there other than he's there. I don't see how it benefits.
I don't know.
Surely,
it was just bizarre.
Surely, just hear me out here.
Okay, I'm hearing.
Like Dylan Dennis surely knows that he's crap at boxing.
Yeah, he knew, mate. He was.
Right,
Do
surely
you know how the fight ended?
a fucking jumping guillotine, wasn't it?
Right. So technically, right?
Disqualification.
Yeah, but technically, he wasn't disqualified until after the ruckus, right? So he is now appealing the result because one.
But to who? Who's he appealing the result?
Don't know. I don't know. I'm just saying. Board of Boxing Control.
Where did they?
So he did. So he went in for a guillotine. Guillotine.
I mean, we would say guillotine.
Right, and he's hit the floor. Logan Paul has then tried to punch him on the floor, which is illegal. And then it all kicked off, but Paul's security came into the ring before anyone else, which technically means that the fight was stopped by Logan Paul because his security entered the ring. Technically. But also,
yeah, but he went for a guillotine.
Who cares?
I just like I'd love to have an actual opinion on it, but I just don't. I just don't, because it's like Ngannou versus Fury.
Yeah.
Like Tyson Fury has accepted a fight with Usyk.
Just do that.
Like a month or two later, after this fight with Ngannou.
Yeah.
Now, all jokes
that doesn't
aside,
scream that it's an exhibition fix.
yeah, or that Tyson looks at it and goes, "Well, I've seen all these boys, and they all fight these MMA fighters, and they absolutely fucking batter them."
Yeah.
So I'm actually good at boxing. The fuck is this guy gonna do?
Yeah, he's pretty good, like.
Which would make sense.
Yeah.
And it would make absolute sense. But what's the point? What are we trying to prove? That MMA fighters can't transition to boxing?
It doesn't prove anything.
And fight people.
A lot of them think that because you train it in a little bit in MMA, you can do it. It's completely different.
But that's entirely my point. Is the point can't be like, if, for example, the Pauls, they are training specifically boxing all the time.
They're still shit.
I mean, I don't even know if they're shit. I haven't even watched enough of it, so Sean, I genuinely don't have an opinion on it. What I'm saying is, the results would show that if you can beat an old Anderson Silva, if you can beat a Tyrone Woodley, if you can beat a Ben Askren, if you can beat a Nate Diaz, then clearly
you know all his fights. Are you sure you don't watch it?
No, but I know the fight.
Secret fan, or
no? What I'm saying is, like, if you actually look at that, then clearly, if you're having a boxing match and all you're doing is boxing, and then you fight somebody that used to do a bit of boxing because it was important to the rest of their sport, then clearly a boxer will be an MMA fighter.
Yeah, if it's just
in
one
a boxing match. But exactly what Rogan said, which was, if Tyson Fury was to get into a cage or a closed box with Francis Ngannou, he's not coming out of there alive. And Tyson Fury took exception to that. And that's not, like, Rogan was not saying anything against Tyson Fury. What he was saying was, all these guys that are just training boxing all the time, and they're fighting either a retired MMA fighter or a current, like, coming to their end of their career MMA fighter that does, like, if you were to put it in percentages, boxing is probably at tops 25% of their training. But then you're fighting somebody even if they're an absolute novice that's never done it before ever in their life, but they spend an entire 4 to 6 weeks, all they are doing is boxing. Like,
Yeah,
the balance is out. So
it's like
Ngannou is going to get his face boxed off. Surely he's going to land.
boxed off.
I guarantee you, Ngannou is going to land a punch, and it's going to be like, ooh, fuck.
But it would just be one.
But I'm not saying it's fixed, or it might be 2 or 3, because he's got, like, we all know that. We've seen what he did to Alistair Overeem, and that was 2 MMA fighters.
Yeah.
One of which was a kickboxer before they were an MMA fighter. And he fucking knocked his head into next week. And now he's a vegan.
Right. That explains a lot.
But what I'm saying is, like, Tyson probably will take a couple of hits.
Yeah.
But he's still going to box the fucking brakes off him, because that's what he knows. That's what he does.
Yeah, mate.
The Pauls, they fight these MMA fighters, or Dylan Dennis, like, fucking hell. I couldn't. Where's he fight? Bellator.
He hasn't fought in like 8 years. That's exactly an exaggeration. I'm gonna have to Google that now.
But you get my point. It's like, like, what's the point in it? Like, if you've done an entire boxing camp, like, those guys aren't taking it as seriously as you are. They're just not. And like you said, like a white collar boxing thing, where or blue collar, like you fucking, you just don't want to get your head kicked in, do you? So you train as hard as you can.
Yeah, exactly. And win.
Whereas the Pauls know they ain't gonna get their heads kicked in. And if they do, there'll be uproar. What's the point?
So Dylan Dennis, right, has only had 2 mixed martial arts fights.
Right. Well, there you go for a start.
He's 2-0.
He's a gobshite as well.
And his last one was June 19th, 2019.
So 4 years ago.
Yeah.
He hasn't fought competitively. So but also, this is a mental thing. What does he do?
I don't know. So surely, right, when was his last grappling fight? Submission grappling.
But I bet you
that's
Gordon,
why he was there. His last grappling fight, well, even that was 2017. He lost to Gordon Ryan to a referee's decision.
When Gordon Ryan was a lot smaller, yeah?
Yeah.
Younger. Yeah, because Gordon Ryan was like a child star, wasn't he?
Yeah. Grappling. Yeah, but that was, yeah, so his last
17,
one was
so
2017 was his last grappling fight, and then 2019 his last MMA fight. How does he make money? Because surely your sponsors would go, fuck off, mate.
I don't know. Maybe he's got a good online presence. I don't know. That's what I mean. I don't understand.
But I only ever see him on X when he's gobbing off about Logan Paul's misses.
Yeah, that was a big thing as well. Like, come on, man. There's no need for that.
Yeah, there's a line, mate, and you overstep.
But I mean, there's a line. If you're selling a fight, I get it. Like, but
pardon me.
He also, I mean, what would you call Logan and Jake Paul? They're not professional boxers, are they?
No.
Are they amateurs? They're like.
Well, you could probably go with Jake as more of a pro.
No, but he's not, though, is he? Because put him on the pro circuit.
Well, that's what
he gets mollywopped.
That was going to be my point. So
he gets mollywopped.
All these MMA fighters, a basketball player, a couple of YouTubers. So he's 8-1. The only loss he's got is against Tommy Fury, who is technically a boxer. So he's fought a boxer and lost.
Sean, that's no different. Right. Just so you know, that's no different to me doing a free throw shootout with you that was 4 years younger than me, and all of your friends, and me beating you, go, I'm a professional basketball player. It's not. Like, he is not a pro boxer. Put him on the pro circuit, see where he gets. Like, he's a physically fit lad, but he's going to have to be tested.
Yeah, he's on something. He was snorting cocaine on the fucking.
I mean, I don't know about that. I'm not even. But what I'm saying is, he'll have to be tested. He's going to have to be certified by one of the organizations or the committees or whatever. I don't understand it. I don't understand.
Also,
I don't get what's the point?
Also,
like, I get one, like, if, like, say a couple of celebrities get a bit of beef, it's
I think that's what was the catalyst. It was because the first time they did it, it was a spectacle and everyone wanted it, and then it was. They're very, very good promoters, aren't they?
I don't know.
For example, Logan and KSI with their Prime drink, they don't pay for any advertising because they're the advertisement.
Yeah,
they've built it up to this fucking level now that they're the. This is what I hate, by the way. They're the hydration supplier for Arsenal, Barcelona, and Bayern Munich.
So they're Lucozade now.
Yeah, but worse. Lucasade's awesome.
Can't beat Lucozade. Gatorade sucks.
Gatorade sucks.
If I drank Prime, I reckon I'd say it's no Lucozade Sport. Orange.
Yeah. Orange. The elite. That is top tier.
That's so good. Like, if you're getting ready for football, or if you're really poorly, or if you've got a hangover. All three. Gatorade fucking blows, mate. It's horrible.
Yeah. Also, grape flavour.
Yeah, Americans love grape juice, though.
Fuck you.
Yeah. Well, me? Or...
No. Oh. America. Nah, not really. Joking. Love the American audience.
Can we not talk about those guys anymore?
Well, there is a huge talking point, but it's also a spicy talking point. Fucking Israel.
Yeah.
Do you know what I think? And it's similar to Trump's sort of thing that he said. I just want people to stop dying.
Yeah.
Because you can't condone the terrorist attack that they did when they parachuted in and were slaughtering people willy-nilly. But then you can't then drop a bomb on Gaza that blows up a hospital.
No. Oh, I literally was talking about this earlier.
But also, there's so many, mate. There's so many. You could call it the propaganda machine. So you've got the Palestinian propaganda machine that is saying how bad Israel is and all the Jews are. Then you got the Israelites and the IDF doing the same, saying, look, these guys are animals. And it all gets put into one thing and then just regurgitated out to us. And we're like, well, obviously we want them to be free of being in that strip. But also, you can't go parachuting into a fucking music festival and beheading babies, allegedly.
Yeah, I don't really know with it, because like the history of it is that you got Israel, the Gaza Strip was given to the Palestinians, Do you know what? Like, I don't.
There's so much
I think
history
I
behind it,
think I
mate.
know, but I don't.
Yeah, I'm very similar to that
It's something to do with
because
we, us, the
yeah.
British, gave back
I,
the Gaza
I can get you to
Strip.
that point. I can get you to that point.
We
So
gave it back, but one of the signees of it was a fucking what's those ones that everyone talks about in conspiracy theories? The Rothschilds.
was
One
it?
of them is one of the signees of that is a Rothschild, which
Mm.
he's Jewish. So like I don't really
Yeah, there's so many things, mate, and I've seen a few different
I can't really give
history.
an opinion because I hate it and like
Yeah,
genuinely, Sean, like without going into the subject, I literally spoke about this morning. I was like, I actually have moments when I wake up in the morning and I'm like, oh, it's gonna be over soon. I notice all. I've told you, and I like the aircraft activity over Hereford at the moment
I mentioned that to you, didn't I, the other day?
is absolutely. And the last time I said it was 2020, and then we had COVID. And I am noticing, like, I'm noticing helicopters over Hereford that are not normal. It's not a Puma and it's not a Dolphina. Like, I literally am noticing these things just going over the top every single fucking day. So I'm in my garden. I'm like, wow, well, okay. And it gives me moments of anxiety because it's like, hang on, we've got Ukraine and Russia going at it. They're going absolutely at it. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, the Middle East starts
Yeah,
again.
so
And it's
and
like,
also
fucking hell.
with that, mate, and it gives me, and I'm usually quite calm with these sorts of things, but I'm genuinely getting a bit squeaky bum because obviously Putin's good mates with fucking Iran,
Yeah.
who are
Yeah.
supporting
Because
Palestine,
it doesn't
and then
stop.
fucking Biden has just flown over to fucking Jerusalem or wherever the fuck, and had a meeting with the Israeli
And the
defense
funny thing is, I actually watched an interview with Donald Trump
Hmm?
earlier, literally just on my phone. It was just like flicking through and it came up. And in actual fact, when you think about it, we had a 20-year war, didn't we, with the Middle East for no reason. Like you're
Yeah,
like you've even said to me on this podcast, is like at the time you're like I go and do my job, but when you've come back, you're like, what the fuck was I there for?
yeah,
I didn't really like. I wasn't. They weren't doing anything. They were just annoyed that we were there. Like, what was I doing?
yeah,
Right? And Trump stopped it.
yeah, mate. I probably it might even be the
I'm not.
same
By
interview
the way,
where he said,
I just want to say this on your podcast so that people don't actually then go, Darren is a Trump supporter. What I'm saying is that is actually a fact.
yeah,
I am not a Trump supporter. I think the guy's a bellend, but he's also a businessman,
yeah, he
and
knows how stuff works, and he sorted a lot of.
he
Again,
did. He
similar to
actually
you,
did.
I think he's a fucking bell end. Did he do shit work? Some shit work, yeah. Did he do some brilliant work? Absolutely.
But have you seen this? Like, don't like keep the finger crossed so we don't get off this subject. Have you seen the recent update in America?
No,
Biden's like,
was he falling asleep?
we need to build a wall.
The fucking puppet master.
He he's actually said in an interview, we need to build a wall in Mexico.
Oh,
Biden said that recently.
he's a fucking
He's not a fucking
why
weirdo.
is he not in a care home? But
He's got
also, I
dementia.
shouldn't care this much about American politics because I'm
But
not
you
American.
should no, but you
But
should
because
because
of
it
because,
directly affects us.
yeah, no, I was going to get to that. Fucking
Oh, yeah,
button
but
in,
I'm better.
fucking button in. But we pay attention because they are our little brother.
Oh,
And
you have to get that in, didn't you?
yeah, well, they are. So it's cute. Um, because they're the little brother that kicked it. Right, it's a good example. So I'm America, year England, right? Or Britain, should I say. I used to kick off all the time and then go, hey, Darren, come and help me.
Yeah, but also Britain have kicked off a few times and been like, America, come and help us.
Did we, though?
I don't know. I wasn't there. I just go off documentaries that I watch from time to time and YouTube clips.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's probably TikTok, but it comes up in my reels along with flashing butt plugs.
Oh, yes. Can't be a flashing butt plug. But yeah, I saw a similar conversation with Trump, and one of them was, he said, you stopped the Taliban. And he said, yeah, I went to the Taliban leader and said, this is a picture of your house.
China.
This is a picture of your house. I know where you live. If you start anything, we're gonna kick the fuck out of you.
But also, like, if you think about it from a business point of view, which maybe Trump does, rather than being like, I'm the president of the United States of America. I'm gonna blow you up. He went there, he was like, listen, mate, I know the coordinates of where you live and all of your family live. What they want me to do is blow you up. Could we reach a deal? Because that's what a businessman would do.
That's more than likely what happened, yeah.
Like, I don't want to blow up your family and your children and wipe out generations, but
I will.
What I'm going to have to, if I don't go back there and tell them. I mean, I don't know how that went, but that's usually, if you're negotiating, how it would go. Whereas Biden couldn't negotiate a fucking toilet at the moment.
Have you seen that he has to have a bit of paper with, like, literally a fucking idiot's guide to have a conversation at a dinner table?
But that's
he's running one of the biggest superpowers in the world.
But also, like, that's not as mental as it seems.
It is.
Because
he's 90 years old.
No, it's not, because the establishment, i.e. the American version of the British royal family, which they didn't want, but they have got, because that's what it takes to run something the size of America, something the size of Britain. You have to have an aristocracy. You have to have people behind the scenes doing that stuff. Yeah. Like, I've got no, by the way,
you don't take it with you to the dinner table.
But by the way, I've got no grounds for this, but what I'm saying is it makes sense.
You make sense.
Being somebody that, like I've had to do negotiations, I've had to do stuff.
Yeah, but you don't take a fucking...
No, but when you get higher and higher up, the establishment in America were not happy with Trump because he was like, Trump has just stopped the military industrial complex of the Middle East in one conversation.
Yeah.
He's just lost billions of pounds to most of those people that sit above Trump, and not above Trump in terms of, like, Trump is the president.
He's an idiot.
Trump is like, part of the reason Trump got in is because he paid for his own election campaign.
Well, yeah.
Most of them, Obama killed fucking loads of people with drones.
Right, so...
And he's the nicest guy you'll ever meet, apparently.
Yeah,
Oh, why are we talking American politics?
But...
We don't know anything. I just know this.
There was an exit strategy to get out of fucking Afghan. It was all written up, and fucking Biden wiped his ass with it. Shit the bed. And then...
Well, they're losing all of their pharmaceutical money, aren't they?
Right. Do you know what happened to all those weapons, by the way?
They left them.
Yeah. Do you know where they are now?
Hamas.
Got it in one.
Of course.
And also, Biden gave fucking $6 billion to Iran, who then went, here you go, Hamas, have some bombs. Pew pew. But then, have you seen the Iron Wall working?
I haven't seen it working. No, I kind of find it a lot. Like, I kind of
But
don't
also,
want.
it's kind of mad that a country, obviously they need it for where they are, but it's mad that a country has to have that technology.
Is it called the Iron Wall?
Iron Wall, yeah.
Is it not the Iron Dome?
Might be the Iron Dome. Did I just fuck it up?
No, I don't know.
Is it the dome
For
or the wall?
some reason in my head I had dome,
It
and it's
might be dome.
because
It's a
there's
dome.
no actual iron, is there? It's just
No.
like as soon like they just shoot things
Yeah,
off.
it's a indirect fire fucking precaution. When we were out on tour to stop our IDF, not the Israel Defense Force, by the way, indirect fire. When the mortars came in, we had a thing called the phalanx gun, which is incredible.
That sounded Norse.
Phalanx,
We've got the phalanx gun.
phalanx, phalanx. After the fucking shield wall.
Yeah.
Is it phalanx or phalanx?
Phalanx.
Phalanx.
You're thinking of like a phallus.
Isn't a phallus a cock?
Yes.
Yeah.
Two-handed.
That's cool. That's cool to see. Burp.
Is that pretty much like when like a fighter jet, like a is it an F-35? Is that what they're using at the moment? The Yanks?
I believe so. Something along those lines.
When if they do, hang on, I'll show you the maneuver. When they do this and they invert and go high, then all of a sudden you see a flare activity come out the back. That's pretty much the same thing.
The flares. Yeah.
Yeah. But hang on. So with that defense system, does that work that they are targeting specific missiles, or is it more like a flare system that the missiles that are coming in are attracted to like a heat source or something?
I believe it's a missile hitting a missile.
Surely that creates carnage at some point as well.
Oh, it does. Can I?
What's happening?
Huh? I need a young Jamie.
Are you trying to do the share the screen thing?
Yeah, I know. I know. There we go. Right. I'll do that and then go back to shut up. You see that?
Yeah.
Right. I'll start that again. So this is the phalanx gun. So that will be some sort of mortar coming in. And then they fire that. And they're cannon rounds as well. So they'll explode on impact. You'll see them like a in a minute.
Yeah, no, I can see. Like
anyway.
So
that's enough of that.
So what's that? That's got to be a fucking 50 to 100 rounds that they're firing off.
It's I think it's 1,000 rounds a second.
Well, okay, so it's more than I thought.
Yeah.
Rather than just having one big fucking mollywhopper that goes fucking bang, which is what Israel's got.
Basically, mate, yeah. I did a thing.
You did, well done.
Yeah.
For those of you watching, you need to look up that clip on either Spotify or YouTube. Promo code Granite Zero.
Such a cool noise. We used to get it like pretty much every morning. They must go through so many rounds, by the way, because they would test that like a lot. You'd get
but if you'd
get the sound. We're about to test the phalanx gun at Camp Leatherneck.
Was that the one you did with the Americans?
Huh?
Is that the one you did with the Americans?
Yeah, the Americans, yeah.
You got a T-shirt, haven't you? It's got like a snake on the back or something.
It's a crocodile.
Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen the T-shirt in a while.
Nor have
got
I.
it.
It's in my It's too small. It's one of those that I should probably just get it framed up or something.
Leather neck. Well, given what this weather's doing, mate, I'm reluctant to commit to shed work.
Sort of chilling out a bit now. It did go a bit.
And not here. It's so heavy. It's unreal. That just might be Wales. Wales are just offloading.
Yeah, there's going. Do you know what's going to come off these mountains? Wind and that.
The red mist. Have it? You must have heard that speech. You must have heard that speech.
It was that. What's his name?
Come here, ye back, my boys.
Is that
the red mist is coming?
Yes.
You looked at me like I was completely mental then, and I was like,
no, it's because of the way you just came out with, and the red mist.
You said it's coming off the mountains, and immediately I formed a fire in my belly.
Get it.
I formed a fire, boys.
Get it, because we can do that now. Get it.
What's that?
It's Matey Boy, innit? The speech to the football team.
We'll get the speech. There's two, actually. He did one with Gareth Bale and that. But I also, do you mind if I quickly grab a beer?
You can do what the fuck you like. Yeah, of course.
I'm going to have to go through fucking Storm Trinity or whatever the fuck it is.
There was a Storm Betty the other day, and it brought a little smile to me.
And you were just like...
I just went, oh, Granny.
You went and sat up in your room with your puffy pillow, you fucking...
Jess has that puffy pillow now, mate.
Where's yours? What do you do when you're sad?
Come down to the shed and get Puffy out.
Oh, you got Puffy? That's another story. That's another story. Hang on, let me go grab another beer. All right?
I'll press pause and I'll have a wee.
All right. So, beer makes the world go round.
Beer is brilliant. What an industry.
Or the beer industry.
Yes.
There's a funny thing about beer and wine, isn't it? It's like people used to drink it because like water wasn't safe. So Viking berserkers used to be like real pissed up.
They're pissed out. I thought they were high on like mushrooms.
Probably why they were more berserk and more like willing to go. No. Because they couldn't keep the water from not going off when they used to travel, so they'd take beer.
Makes sense. Get on it.
I mean, it might have been on mushrooms as well, but
I only guess that from...
I've never seen a stoner get in a fight, but I've seen many pissed people get in fights.
Yeah. True story.
The level of violence in Amsterdam must be very minimal. You've been there a couple of times.
Yep. It was probably the most chilled out place I've ever been to.
Yeah. Exactly my point there.
Like even the tourists, like you'd get pissed, but obviously you would, if you're in the cafes, if you're not smoking it, you're taking in the second-hand smoke anyway.
You're getting a hot box.
So you're getting hot boxed. When we were out there was very little like Larry, like even your typical Brits singing down the road or anything.
Yeah.
Everyone is just mashed, man.
Yeah, look, of all the people I know that are stoners, not one of them, they'll have a little doob.
Dooby doob.
They're not looking to get in an argument.
No.
They might spark a conversation.
That will make an argument.
Yeah, but they're not. That's not why they've sparked it. It's just more that they've thought about it for a while. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I've been thinking about why the Twin Towers were blown up, man.
Why is Tower 7 just falling down, man?
Should hotbox the shed one day, shouldn't I?
No.
No?
Oh, maybe. I mean, it's up to you.
It might be fun.
You could do like a Joe Rogan, Brian Redban episode. Get
I watched
you and Chris Dunn.
Yeah, Chris Dunn. That man definitely has never taken or done any other sort.
No.
I don't even think he's taken an aspirin.
He probably should. His leg hurts.
His leg hurts. All healed. Hey. Ready for this? Hey!
Hey, you got Puffy.
Look at the fucking state of him, mate. He's see-through.
Oh no, that's awesome. I like that.
There he is.
Do you know what I thought you were gonna pull out?
What?
And I don't know if they still exist. And Chris Smith, I'm doing the microphone leaning thing.
Yeah.
So you know I'm serious. If your shoes from the last game still exist, I want Sean to have them in his shed.
Yes. It's not a bad idea, though. I think he might have thrown them away.
I genuinely thought that might have been what you were like. Hey, look, I've got Chris Smith's shoe that fell apart.
Oh, no, we should have definitely kept that. I found some bits. I don't know if you saw the cup we've had made. So there's going to be two trophies.
Yeah, I did see.
I also, while I was on my rummage, there's a charity shop at the end of my where I work. So I'm not like just rummaging in bins, by the way. It's the stuff that it's the stuff they're going to chuck out.
Not unheard of, but
not unheard of, no. But I found a pair of
pants.
They're not World Cups. They're like, is it Kessa 5? Kessia?
Oh, Kaiser,
that's it. Kaiser 5s. 6.5, right? Clearly never going to fit me. First of all, I thought Riley might want them. They're like fucking almost brand spanking new. Need a bit of bit of dubbing. And then I thought,
oh, Kaisers need a bit more work than Coppers.
But then I thought I could turn that into a golden boot. But we haven't scored.
I was going to say, given our history, you don't need that.
No goals.
I think this year might be different. The Hereford leg might be different.
I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a good event. It's going to be a good one. I got a good feeling.
It's going to be. I think you might cry because I think you're going to have a bigger reception than you realise, given like the people that are involved and the potential for like just the day in general. It's like, and that's nothing, absolutely nothing against what we've done before. When you bring it to Hereford, I've got contacts, Biffo's got contacts.
Well, I've even still got contacts.
You've got contacts. Like, do you know what I mean? Within Hereford,
I see your point there. I think I've still got more contacts.
It's going to be a smaller venue because
it's not that much smaller, you know.
But like Maidstone, that's on par with Hereford United, isn't it?
I think
the fact it's 3G pitch,
when obviously Hereford went into administration, had to rebuild, but they were always in the league. Did they ever get knocked down from League Two, or was it just because they went through administration?
Well, Hereford got quite high up, mate. They were doing all right for a while.
Yeah, I know. Yeah,
and then the administration stuff just fucked it completely. Didn't it? It's complete. In effect, it's the same club, but it's a different club. altogether.
It's known as a Phoenix Club now, isn't it? Because it came from. Anyway,
Okay.
but yeah, I think we've picked the right club.
Well, you've done a couple, haven't you?
Yeah.
Like genuinely now, are there quite a few of the Kent boys are going to come down?
So from what I've spoken to, I think the only two that I'm and are in is the goalkeeper.
Yep.
And Craig, who got player of the game last time. It was so basically the two players of the game last time. Craig
Never
has
get
got
mentioned in player of the game. Never.
Yeah. So Craig's got like a lad's holiday book for the week after or something like that. So funds are tight.
Understandable though.
Which is understandable. I told him that. I'm not forcing anyone to play. I went, if you can play, great. If you can't, then let me know so that I can
Fill the gap.
either fill the gap or just work accordingly. The one that I really need to know is obviously the goalkeeper.
Yeah, we can sort that.
But
Joe lives up the road from me.
there's
Brinley Watkins, and I've already spoken to him.
All right.
Ex-Manchester United and US Harrold player.
Why have we not signed him up then?
Yeah, we have signed him up, but you've already got a goalkeeper.
Oh,
So I've asked Bryn, and Bryn was like, "No, mate, I'll be well up for that." Do you know Bryn? Don't you, from Peggy and US Harrold?
I'm not very good with names.
You know Bryn. He's like big, stocky bloke.
I'm sure I know who he is. Sure.
He's
But then again, with the lack of photo evidence of me playing football in Hereford, I don't think I ever really did.
Yeah, there's that. There is that.
It's only Chalky that remembers me.
Yeah.
Oh, I definitely did. All right. I played for Hinton as well.
I don't remember you playing. Like, I remember you playing for Hinton. Like you left Peggy and went back to Hinton.
I only played.
I don't remember you.
I played a handful of games for the.
And then you were like, "Yeah, I played for Westfields when I was a kid." I was like, "Did you?"
Yeah, mate.
We had a whole text conversation. Didn't you? I was like,
Andy
I
Jones was the gaffer. Yeah, I played from under 11s to.
I'm not doubting that you did, but it was like that's a memory that's gone of mine.
Yeah.
Have you been at West? Because I went to Westfields. I remember me going to Westfields.
But
And
it's
I
a
left.
similar thing.
Yeah.
Tupsley basically died. My Tupsley.
Well, the whole club did, didn't it? There's no Tupsley Pegasus now.
Because that was reborn, wasn't it, as
Phoenix.
Hampton Dean Rangers? Did I just make
No,
that up?
it was Phoenix. Tupsley Phoenix.
Tupsley Phoenix, but then there was the one that the boys made.
Yeah, they did that. That was just for them to have a game of footy, wasn't it?
Yeah. What that was it Hampton Dean Rangers or something like that?
Hampton Park Rangers.
Hampton Park Rangers. There we go.
And they played. I think I might be wrong, but I think they played in the yellow and blue kit.
That's how it should always be. Georgie wore the yellow and blue though.
That was a lads club though.
Was it?
Yeah.
That's one team I never played for.
No, normally.
I played for the big ones, you know. Hinton, Westfields, Peggy. Technically,
lads club are big now.
Technically, the Harold for a couple of friendlies.
No, but lads club are big now.
Never liked them. I'll say it out loud.
Come on, they're doing well. It's Danny Moon runs it.
Oh, I know Danny Moon. We won't go into that subject. We won't go on that subject. Although I did speak to the Harry the Kid Fowler today. We reminisced about being rascals.
Yeah. You two, like, I've got to say, two of the worst apprentices I've ever had.
I was a fucking brilliant apprentice.
No, you were crap.
I was brilliant at my job.
No, you were good at your job. But you
I
were
wasn't
worse
an apprentice, though, so don't give me that bullshit.
But you were.
But I wasn't, though. I was the only qualified one there, apart from you.
I was.
Oh, I was qualified as well.
You were qualifying.
No, I qualified.
In.
No. I was top dog.
You know.
I was top dog, mate. Harry the Kid. Do you know what the one thing he came out with? And I literally pissed myself laughing because only the Kid Harry would remember this. And probably you. We were just talking about nights out and just being rascals, and he went, yeah, and you had your traditional play and dusk piss kit. I was like, all right. And he went, I was like, jeans and a polo shirt. And he went, yeah. And your Lonsdale pasties.
Yeah, you did. That Tom bought you from Archways.
Lonsdale pasties. I had some shoes that look like pasties for those of you that don't know.
But yeah, they literally. You remember Tom bought us
so
loads of
comfy.
Lonsdale kit, and I was like, I ain't wearing it.
Yeah,
Do you remember he bought us a yellow?
You keep going on about the yellow. I never wore the yellow.
You
said
got the
this
yellow.
last time. I didn't wear the yellow.
And a pink one.
No, I didn't wear that one either.
But it had like Lonsdale was written bigger than my own self. He went straight into
I wore
Sports
the
Direct.
really good, the one that me and Harry wore all the time. I think the one that you got, the maxi muscle one, the red one.
Yeah, I sorted that out and got it fucking embroidered, didn't I?
Yeah. So I only ever wore the red maxi muscle and the white polo shirt because for some reason I never was given a blue one or the yellow. But I did like the jumper. The jumper was nice.
Tom got us basically a Peggy or Westfield's.
Yeah, he got us training kit,
didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah, because
which we were allowed to wear if we worked Saturday, and we were playing for Peggy, like me and the kid Sam Preaser.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
We were allowed to wear the Peggy tracksuit. I do like a tracksuit.
I'm not a fan of a full tracksuit, mate.
Do you know what I've been watching just in my spare time? Is a thing on YouTube called The Bunch of Amateurs. And
what's that?
And it's a YouTube channel, and one of the teams that they follow is Dorking Wanderers. And
is that the guy that was like bunch of my fucking shit players?
Yeah, basically, yeah.
Yeah, that guy. Yeah.
Oh, mate, it is actually quite addictive to watch. And when you first see him, you're like, he's a fucking knob, he is. But when you realise that he built the team in '99 as like basically a Saturday League team, and he's taken them from that all the way to National Division Premier or whatever it is.
Yeah.
The one below League Two. But I looked on their website. He is technically the chairman of the club and the manager. He's not going to sack himself.
No.
But he's a hell of a character.
Also, that's like
I thought just the story behind it. I was like, that's cool. Because he started off as a player manager, and then he's built it, and then he went because Series 2. I started on Series 3 because I sort of knew that they were playing.
The only thing that I've seen from that is him literally doing an interview after an FA Cup game.
Yeah, that's a recent one.
What do you want me to do? Like explain the fact that my fucking shit players have not done their fucking job, and I was like, wow, I'm in.
Yeah,
I'm in.
He's brilliant, mate. He's also the way I can describe him is he's basically like a Cockney sort of biffo, where his man management is brilliant, but he's also like a kind-hearted bloke that wants the best for the team.
Yeah.
But also he's had so many touchline bans. When he gets his touchline bans, mate, he goes in disguise so that he can be near the team. He'll sit in like the stands with like
what with a fake nose and a moustache.
No, he puts glasses and hat, but his hats don't fit right, and that winds me up. Put your hat on properly. But
Do you
bunch
know
of
that
amateurs, mate. It's brilliant.
the big Tom once got sent off because of Biffo? Were you playing in that game or were you watching it?
I was watching it.
That was fucking hilarious. Because Biff went fucking mad at. I've got to say, it's got to be a local referee, so they would have known that somebody was.
It was
like,
at the Leisure Centre, wasn't it, on the middle pitch?
Yeah. And Tom, for like he was never a man to get sent off.
Yeah.
But he stood up in a metal dugout, and his head hit the top. And then the referee just assumed that the guy that hit his fucking head, because he was that livid, was the guy to get sent off. So he sent Dad off, and Biffo was like, "Yeah, Tom."
They worked well, didn't they? Bless him.
They did, but in fairness, Biffo is like you say, he's a great manager, and he's fantastic, and he's one of the best people I've ever worked with in terms of football. He really is, because he brings so much out of you that you didn't realise was there.
Yeah,
but that only goes so far. He's
the type of manager you don't want to let down.
Yeah. And at local level, that works fucking amazing. That's why your country bumpkin teams do so well, because they all know each other.
Yeah,
and they all know the manager. They gets to a level or a point where you need somebody clinical, aka Edwin James Thompson, that needs to be. You need to do shit this way. Otherwise, you go no further.
Yeah.
And they work well together to a certain extent until they don't. Because, like, Biffo's got pull for, like, loads of local lads. Everyone loves Biffo. Ask me if I know somebody that knows Biffo and goes, I don't like him.
Yeah,
There's no one. There's no one. But you then get certain teams that are maybe paying.
Yeah.
They're paying a little bit. So those players are drawn to that. And when you think about it, that's kind of like, it's like people like Dad, people like Biffo, they can't compete with that.
Yeah.
You can't compete with it. But also, that's maybe why there's, 11-a-side football at the moment, mate. If you look at it where I live in Hereford, it's pretty, like, it's a very poor, not a poor standard. There's not a lot of people doing it.
Yeah.
You haven't got 4 leagues in Hereford.
Not like the old days.
You haven't got 4 leagues. Where there might be a young lad that's playing for, like, I don't know, like, try and think of somebody out of Brainton that he's playing for Hinton Reserves, and it's like, he looks like a good player, actually. Like, that's not happening at the moment. But it's because all the money's in 6-a-sides.
Yeah.
That's where all the money is.
Rent the pitch.
Exactly.
I went to look into renting the pitch that we used last time, just for us to have a bit of a kick around, maybe do some drills and whatnot. They now want, what was it, 68 quid for a quarter of the pitch for an hour, which isn't fucking bank breaking, because It's 68 quid, but that's every week.
That's mental, though.
That's every week, and sometimes some of the lads can't turn up. So then it's like, well, you owe me fucking 12 quid this week. Why? Because there's like 4 of us.
No, but that's also mental at the same time.
Yeah,
it's also completely mental.
It's just
football. The basis of football is that you could
jumpers for goalposts.
Exactly.
And
yes, they've got lights. Yes, they've got a pitch that's playable all year round. But fuck me,
it doesn't need to be 68 quid a fucking hour.
A quarter
for a quarter of a pitch.
So how
the funny thing was when we went there
like
last year.
Help me figure it out.
So a quarter of a pitch is basically the size for.
So we're talking
Sophia's football match.
So that's 5-a-side tops.
She plays grown men. She now plays like 7-a-side, yeah. So
yeah, but for grown men,
yeah, 5-a-side.
That's 5-a-side tops with a goalkeeper. So you call it 6-a-side, but it's not. It's 5-a-side, but with a keeper.
And I gotta get those numbers in as well.
68 quid.
Yeah.
Fuck you, man. That's rubbish.
I think the cheapest one we got was the YMCA, where me, Chris, and Dan used to do our 6-a-side.
Did you stand at the front and do the?
Yeah, we did every week. That's the right genuine now. That is the playing down there was the first time I ever won a trophy in football, and I was ecstatic, mate.
Did you? Oh, was that when you scored that goal against that?
No, that was when I was serving, mate, and he had cerebral.
Right.
Was it cerebral palsy?
I think it's cerebral palsy, but yeah.
What did I say? Cerebral. Cerebral's not a word, Sean. Cerebral. Was it?
Cerebral palsy.
Can't do it.
I think. I don't know.
He was an absolute screamer, by the way.
What the keeper was?
No, no, my goal. Top bins. Celebrated. What do you want from me? Can't stand the heat, mate. Get out of the kitchen.
To be fair,
he played for England.
What?
Not real England, obviously.
I was going to say, fucking hell. Did he play up top? Is his name Harry?
Skechers. £195 pair of football boots.
And I bet they're crap as well.
Skechers.
I bet they're crap.
Right. I'm just going to... Harry, you're not Michael Jordan, mate.
No.
You're not... Like... When Jordan got signed to Nike, those of you that have seen the movie and watched The Last Dance, Nike didn't make basketball trainers until Jordan. Harry Kane, you're not Michael Jordan. No one wants to buy Skechers. And that's like buying Sondico boots. Unless you're a referee.
But they might. They might. Because I don't know how kids are these days.
No.
But I do know that.
Is he that big a name?
My daughter would never wear Skechers.
No.
Doesn't matter.
Right.
Harry Kane.
Right. Doesn't matter. Jess, I went to Jess. We were looking for trainers for a dance. They had to be all black, all completely blacked out. What trainers do you want? We went through. Oh, there's some Skechers there. Nanny wears Skechers. I ain't wearing Skechers. There you go then. Nike it is.
Nanny wears Skechers though. I love that response.
Nanny wears Skechers.
Oh, I love that response. More than you imagine. I've only got one. Like Sean, I've only got one.
What, one Sketcher?
No, one child.
Yeah.
So my conversation usually is different to yours.
I have 2 mini-me's.
Yeah. And I also am like...
You also have a mini-you?
Yeah, I do. But I also...
You don't have my temperament, so you don't argue with mini-you.
No, definitely not. No, sometimes I do. And then I always have to go and say sorry afterwards.
I had to say
But
sorry to Jess earlier, but that's another story.
no, but m- so when I was younger than Georgie when I had to wash dishes to get like 35 quid
Yeah.
a weekend,
Mm-hmm.
right? So I put all of my 35 quid either to take my mate Dan Maitland to McDonald's and buy him whatever the fuck he wanted,
Oh,
or
you're a good friend.
I'm
Best.
pretty good. I'm pretty good like with stuff like that.
Best.
Or it would be I'm putting these towards some Preds.
Oh,
Dad's told me to give me like £4.50 towards some football boots, and I've got to make up the rest. And you know that it costs 135 quid, so I would literally.
you'd bust. To be fair, you'd bust your ass to get your boots.
But then I would get them every time a new one came out. I was.
You was David Beckham, mate.
No, I wasn't David Beckham. Fucking hell.
Same hair.
I was not David
You're
Beckham,
David
but
Beckham from
David
Wickes.
Beckham was my hero.
That's
At the
bizarre,
time.
considering you're an Arsenal fan.
No, but he was like
He
as much as
he went beyond football.
No, but the thing is with Bex as well is that he was like
I'm not gay, but I'll
like
go down on him.
oh well that is gay.
It's not gay. David Beckham.
Uh,
It's not gay.
it is gay.
It's not. He's got
It
golden
is
balls.
it is gay. What I was going to say was that I would try and keep up with the trends of David Beckham, not because it was England or Man United. It was because it was David Beckham, and he did exactly what his documentary says. He transcended football. He became
did, yeah.
he was the footballer. That's what I wanted to be. I wanted to be that kind of footballer. I didn't want to be like I probably was more of a Roy Keane. I didn't want to be though. I wanted to be David Beckham, like whipping crosses in and being pictured with like attractive girls and stuff. Do you know what I mean?
I
Like
wanted to kick people.
no, you didn't want to kick people, Sean. Let's just remember, you are literally one of the bad guys from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. You are Rocksteady.
I was actually quite good on the ball.
You were.
I was very
But then
fast.
But then it'd be like, hey, Sean, that guy gave you a funny look. And you'd be like, I'm going to kick him in the head.
Yeah, I know. I was a bit of an idiot, and you could say I had a bit of short man's complex, bit of skinny man complex.
Bit of little brother complex as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I would go with that. Because I remember I was very short and skinny up until we got the gym. Really,
Yeah.
I was
Just for you.
I was strong because of playing rugby. So that was always beneficial, and the fact that I started playing men's football, I would have been late. I would have been well on the verge of turning 15, but 14 when I first started
Yeah.
at Marriott's. 14, 15, and it was like well, I had to sort of grow up, and the way that I was taught differently to when you were playing with the men's teams, because you played in. This is no disrespect to Marriott's, but you played in football playing teams where I played with.
Yeah.
We need to be the mean team. Nobody wants to play us because we kick people.
But also, that's not a bad base to start from.
No,
If you've got a progression that you're allowed to do, and I do believe that within Hereford football between sort of like 1998 and about 2010. I don't know what it's like now, but in that time, it was very much like it's not what you know, it's who you know.
Yeah.
And that's really unfortunate because there's like let's give him a shout out today. There's players like Chalky, right? He's one of the best people with a ball at his feet that
He's a
I've
very,
ever played with.
very good player, Chalky.
No, he's one of the best players, and I've played with some ex-professionals. What Chalky can do is drag back. I always like laugh with him whenever we meet up and have a beer. I'm always like, "Your drag back, no drive. It's always fucking class, isn't it?" Because it is, and that could have been something better if he'd just been given a chance. If he wasn't, but also something to remember is like people like Chalky, people like Scotty. The reason they didn't progress is because of their outside of football life, and some of those other people that maybe made it a bit further is because they took their sport and their health and fitness a bit more serious.
Yeah, I get that.
Like Chalky told me the other day, he was like, "Yeah, I can't remember the last time I went to a football match and didn't drink 3 pints before I played." But, well, there you go then.
Yeah,
there's part of your
it's like
problem, dude.
that's a proper old school way of playing football, wasn't it?
It's old school, but also in that time, that's that transition time.
Yeah,
Where
you were going from play. Well, we all played for fun, but you went from playing for fun. But this is also what I want to do. I need to not drink because you went through a stage. I remember that you didn't drink because you were concentrating on developing as a football player. I remember it quite vividly.
yeah, that was round about the end of me. Like I think because I think it was when I was still at college.
Yeah,
but I got into my second year at college, and
drinking.
I'd had a few like nights out and stuff in Worcester, and loved it. Thought it was great. But I also noticed that my performances and that had gone down.
Yeah,
and then I wasn't getting picked for the first team and stuff, and I was like, all right, maybe we knock it on the head now.
Yeah.
And we literally all we're doing. And to be honest, the disappointing thing about that is that I did that myself. That wasn't somebody that actually picked me up to do it. So they actually monitored it. I like self-monitored it.
Yeah.
And probably by that point, like I'd probably had a couple of games where I was a bit shit, or I've been out the night before or whatever. And it took me a while to get back into it. So like I probably would have been a good thing. Probably would have been a good thing. But also at the same time, like we're not here for a long time.
No, I totally agree.
We're not here for a long time. Like I could have gone through my entire football career, like looking at my parents, which are my role models.
Yeah,
I could have gone through my entire career not having a beer, not going to Amsterdam.
it's a struggle for a Thompson not having a beer.
No, but genuinely, like early days, it wasn't a struggle for me because I just didn't drink.
No, you just didn't drink, yeah.
And
What's just bizarre on this sort of conversation? I pretty much retired from football when I was around 20. Really, I played a
yeah, but you got fucked off with it though, Sean.
Yeah, but I only played a handful of games for Peggy coming back on leave. But yeah, you're right. I didn't really have when I left to join the military. It's not like some of the lads that still like we'll say Stefan. He had Harold as his sort of go-to club, and
Well,
I think
like Coops and Rob.
They had
they would be back every weekend.
Yeah, and that was because they had that sort of club that wanted them there. When
There
I
is
was at
that, but
when I
there's
was
also
at Peggy,
that they
I
weren't.
didn't. It was only Matty Priest that I felt was like, I want you here.
Yeah, there's that, but it's also like where the army are based is slightly different. Like you were based at Bury St Edmunds.
Yeah, it
That
was
is
the other side.
that
I could.
can't.
Don't get me wrong. I could have probably picked a local team that I could probably have slotted into.
Yeah, but when you say like the likes of Stefan and Coops and Rob, Matty Norts, trying to think of anybody else that was army, like they weren't far away. They were traveling from like Cardiff,
Yeah,
from Shrewsbury. Like you would have had to have travelled
on the Friday.
like 6 hours just to play a game on a Saturday, and then you probably would have had to be at work on the Monday.
Yeah.
So it's sort of like
I played a
doesn't.
couple of games. I did play a couple of games. I remember. I would have still been about 22, 23. When did I leave? When I was 25 when I left. But I remember because me and you played in one with what's his fucking name? Terrible football player. He used to go to your gym.
Terrible football player.
Yeah, terrible. Used to be fat. Got fit because of you.
Fucking hell, it could be anybody.
Came on the stag.
Mitch.
Yeah. Shit.
Oh, I played a Sunday league game with Mitch. I remember. Yeah.
Yeah, we went to Ledbury. Maltese Joe was refereeing.
Yeah, and
Kept
Pumbaa Shrek was the guy I was. That was his
I
name.
kept getting flagged offside, and I was sprinting from my own half. I was like, "What the fuck is going on here?"
Who the fuck? I can't even think who they played for.
I don't know, but I played another game for him against Home Lacey, and again he's cropping up quite a lot. Leon Cook was playing for him, or he was managing or something. Fucking, I was basically just one man in midfield. I was fucking blowing. And I was serving at the time as well. So I was at like peak fitness. Just fucking dog legs, mate. It was just basically me in the centre midfield. Because I remember when I arrived, they went, "Oh, you're Mitch's mate," and I was like, "Yeah." And they went, "You're playing right back," and I was like, "Yeah, okay, cool." And then they went, "Mitch, you're playing in centre midfield." I was like, "What?" And then Mitch went, "Do you want to
That's
swap?"
not one of Mitch's strong points.
And then Mitch went, "Do you want to swap?" I was like, "Yeah." And then I wish I hadn't. I wish I had just played right back.
An easy day, like.
Had an easy day at the office. Fucking hell, I remember just blowing.
Fucking hell, I need to turn this heating off, man. I know it was raining, but Jesus Christ.
Who'd have thought?
Right, we're going to call this a day.
Yeah, bro.
I just got a text message.
Did you?
Not of anybody that matters. It's fine.
Who's it from?
It was a work text message.
Oh, but yeah, we don't do that. I turn my work phone off.
Yeah, I don't have a work phone. I just have Darren's phone.
A bat phone. Yeah, I need a piss anyway.
All right, nice one. That was quite a good one. I don't
know what we actually talked about, really.
No.
It's it's a conversation in the pub.
But what I said to you was that we've got to keep fucking plugging at it, because from what I can gather, people will actually have a little listen for that specific episode.
Yeah.
Like you know what I've done? I've gone into algorithms.
You have, mate. You love an algorithm.
This
will now be referred to as Virtual Pub Wednesday.
Exactly. And
it'll come out Thursday.
some people that might sit at home, they want to hear a chat in a pub. Like you say, it's like there's only 20, but it's had like 10,000 listens.
Yeah.
But that was one episode.
Madness.
So let's carry on with it. I'll
Oh,
keep
I'm
my
never gonna
Wednesdays
stop it.
free.
I love it. See you later.
Can you do me a big favour?
What's that, mate?
Can you take Puffy to bed tonight?
I might do. It still says hug me on his belly.
Yeah.
Do you know what?
That's what I thought his name was for some.
Kate saw something similar on the telly the other day.
I don't even know where you got that from.
Right, it was Granny got it for me. No, it wasn't.
No,
it wasn't. It was your godmother. Which one?
Laura.
Which one? I don't know.
Laura, I think it was.
They got it for me,
and you just loved it.
I loved it. And Kate said to me, she went, "I saw
you're gonna have to put
your
this
puffy on the." She said, "I saw your puffy on the telly the other day. It was a lovely blue rabbit." And I went, "He's not a rabbit." And she went, "What is it?" And I went, "It's a puffalump."
It's a huffalump.
It's a puffalump. He's a mixture of a rabbit and a
He's
dog.
got a cocktail.
And a dog. He's fucking lovely. Oh,
I fucking forgot about that.
Mate, where's all the stuffing gone though? Why is he see-through?
I don't care. Why is his tail still so fucking rogery?
I used to nibble on it.
Oh.
Oh. But the reason why, right, so we're going to go on to the pillow, just quickly. So the granny pillow.
Granny's pillow.
Right, the reason why I love that
like granny, and it felt like
Puffy.
It felt like Puffy.
It's because of the same stuffing.
But it smelled like granny.
It does. It still does.
Does it?
Yeah. With a mixture of me and now Jess, but yeah. Jess loves it. Jess does exactly what I do.
It.
You know when you get your jippy belly.
No.
Right. Well, when people get jippy bellies, whether it's anxiety or whatever, right? You probably don't because you're special, right? I used to grab the pillow if I didn't have Puffy, had a beer. I'd grab the pillow and I'd go, "Oh, I feel better now." It's not. It's just me being a fucking idiot. I need something to distract my mind. She does it now. Same. They might look like Kate.
That's cool.
But they act like me.
Well, they fucking both look like you as well, mate. But we're done.
We're done. I loved it. All right, see you Wednesday. Stop wanking off your fucking microphone, you weirdo.
I wasn't. That's
You're wanking it off.
Puffy.
Yeah. Get it down, yeah. Hello. You're at the adverts, so don't turn off. Don't turn off because I've got some good stuff for you. First up, I'm going to talk about our sponsors. Kent CBD is our first sponsor. Now, CBD oil, as you know, has tremendous benefits, especially within mental health and physical health. Personally, I use it to help with my anxiety and my depression, but not only that, I also use it to help with the aches and pains of life in my joints, especially my ankles and my knees. But yeah, without CBD oil, I would have still been on my antidepressant tablets, which I'm no longer on. So, every cloud. And what we're going to do here at Granite Zero is we're going to give you 10% off everything from oil, muscle rub, jellies, bath salts, the lot. Yeah? Make sure you get in there. www.kentcbd.org. Put in the promo code GRANITE0 and get yourself 10% off. You are welcome. But also, if you're like me and you love a nice cup of coffee. Now, for me, I only drink one coffee, and that's Green Beret coffee. Now, I don't only drink it because it's out of this world fucking coffee, roast to order, grinded to whatever specific grind you want. But not only that, it's veteran owned and veteran run, which, hits me right in the feels.
So make sure you check it out, Green Beret Coffee. Get yourself a nice cup of coffee. I drink it dark, just like my soul. Incredible stuff, incredible stuff. And what I'm going to give for you, I'm going to give you 10% off. So once you get to the checkout, once you've got all your coffee, your products, your apparel, whatever you need, get to the checkout and put in the promo code GZPodcast10 and get yourself 10% off. Courtesy of the Granite Zero podcast. You are welcome. Now, that's enough of me talking about this stuff. Back to the regular scheduled show. Check it out!